both of you kind of looked at like modern day common things. I want to do something a little different. So I looked at how World War II would be affected by this.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So obviously they didn't really have voice activated stuff back then, but let's just pretend. So the most obvious thing, I think, and probably the funniest thing is guns. So there would be no trigger. Instead, you just make like gun noises. So if you want to shoot your gun, just bang, bang. Everyone, just imagine like a war field of everyone going bang, bang, pow, pow, pew.
But also your shouting would activate everyone else's gun at the same time.
Yes, I will get to that later.
We're looping around.
Yes,
I got it.
Yes. I guess machine guns, would it be like a held command? Do you have to do each individual bullet?
You gotta do a
Yeah. Every like beat of the sound is a bullet. So it's actually a skill then, which is kind of cool.
If you can roll your tongue, then it's very useful.
There you go.
Oh, man. Yeah, don't fight the Spanish.
A big part of World War II were the tanks. So you guys like went over driving a little bit, and Ben actually mentioned that they have like self-driving cars and stuff, and that helps a lot. We don't have that with tanks. And they're like, no, you're not driving on a road, so like you can't follow a road.
Right.
So this would obviously be pretty complicated. I think like the standard tank has like 4 people or something like that in it.
That sounds right.
I think there's like 2 people operating guns on the side, and then there's 2 people in the middle. One is driving and one is on the top. And they actually have like a system, like without the voice activated stuff, they have their own system where the guy on top taps his foot on the guy that's driving. So if he wants to go forward, he taps the middle of his back. If he wants to turn right, he taps his right shoulder. If he wants to go backwards, he taps his head, stuff like that. And the guy driving has like levers. So he pulls the right lever to turn right and the left lever to turn left, stuff like that. So I don't actually know how this would work with voice activated.
I think if you were trying to aim the guns, any of the guns, and make turns at the same time, you're going to have a problem.
That would be difficult.
Because if anyone says left, all the guns turn left, and the tank turns left.
Yeah.
Maybe you no longer can turn the gun individually.
So you have to go the direction that you're pointing.
Yeah. Just to simplify things and make it
that would make things
workable.
easier.
Maybe you just need one guy. If you have the one guy who can see, then he can just, instead of communicating that to other people, he can just say it, and the tank will do its thing.
I think you still have like 3 backup guys in the bottom in case that guy gets like shot, but they just like pop up and take his place.
Yeah, they're just not allowed to speak.
Yeah.
Well, nobody's allowed to speak except for the one guy.
Yep.
So we went over tanks. A tank countermeasure is landmines, and I don't think, would you have to like activate the landmine with your voice to make it blow up?
Yes.
So it wouldn't work if it just ran over it.
Right.
So you'd have to like wait for the tank to go over it, and then you'd have to yell.
The other problem is that I feel like basically all landmines have some way to disarm them. So I'm assuming if you just walk around yelling disarm, you will just like put a lot of their work sort of
disarm.
But then this flock of seagulls flies by. It's like, mine. And all of a sudden you're all dead.
Yeah, then they all blow up. All the mines blow up.
They call it the Seagull Massacre.
And then in World War II, paratroopers were a big thing. But I don't really, like you mentioned plane. I don't think a plane would be possible. Like, it's just way too complicated to fly a plane, voice activated, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. Like, I mean, the mechanics are pretty...
I mean, I don't know how flying a plane works. I don't know the controls. But I would assume it's pretty complicated. And there's a lot of things you have to do.
Oh, I know what you can do. You can just say autopilot on.
Boom.
Dunzo. Absolutely dunzo.
Okay, so paratroopers are a thing then. And then one big thing about World War II specifically is the tactics they used, actually, specifically the U.S. I don't know about other countries, but the U.S., they focused on like mobile tactics. So they had like teams with different types of soldiers with different guns that serve different purposes. And usually those teams had tanks with them too. So it'd be like 3 to 7 tanks. And then you'd have a bunch of guys with machine guns, and you'd have a bunch of guys with like rifles, stuff like that. And the guys with machine guns would like provide cover fire. And then the other guys would run forward and stuff like that. But that wouldn't really work here because of the reason that Marcus mentioned before, because if you shoot a gun, all of them are going to shoot. So you can't have like specific tasks. Everyone has to be doing the same thing.
Unless you have different gun noises. So if you have like a flamethrower guy, a pistol guy, and like a machine gun guy, the machine gun guy can go rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat, and the pistol guy can go pow pow pow, and the flamethrower guy can go whoosh
Whoosh. I guess that could work. I was thinking more like in the Revolutionary War where they just like stand and everyone would shoot at the same time, but like everyone would have the same gun. And there'd be one commander guy that is in charge of firing all the guns.
And all the soldiers are just like pointing, basically.
You have to make sure that all the soldiers are pointing in the right direction. Because if it's just in their holster, then it's going to shoot the ground. It's not going to be great. So you got to make sure everyone's pointing. Then you hit POW, and all the guns fire.
Ready? Pow!
Imagine the power trip that you get from that. Feeling all the
Right.
guns fire from your voice.
Ooh, yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah.
Gives me a little tingle in my jingles.
So I don't know how that would like affect the outcome of World War II. It would probably be a lot different, but yeah, that's basically my answer.
I like it. Yeah, I really just love the image of just people being like pow 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 pow.
Yeah, that's funny to me.
Reload! Ah, shit! Hold on, everyone stop! We're reloading now. It's like, sir, what's happening? It's like, our guns aren't working. Why? Someone's going around shouting jam.
Well, they're not going to put a jam function in it. It's
I guess they wouldn't. I mean, maybe the comedy bad guys might.
like things aren't going to do anything that you say. If you just say break, not everything is going to break.
Kit Kats will.